Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday. You know, on Friday, we talk tech in English. But before we begin, I just want to take a few seconds to um, memorialize the fact that today is September 11th and thousands of Americans lost their lives on this day 19 years ago. And so we just want to take a moment of silence to acknowledge that and to empathize with all of those who lost loved ones, who were touched by this event. And so let's just take that time right now. Thank you. Thank you guys for just taking time out to acknowledge that with us over here at Biz Chicks. So um, let's get this program started. Today, we always like to start out with um, this week in tech, and so we use the website known as This Day in Tech History, and I'd like to share a couple of significant things that happened during this week in tech history. First of all, I want to say that on September 11th, 1985, the first international cometary explorer passes through the gas tail of the comet Zener, the first ever man-made object to pass through the tail of a comet. So this was an international cometary explorer that passes through the comet, and that was significant. Just getting out in space, leave alone doing all of these things that allow us to see additional stars, um, helped us to expand our scientific knowledge. Now, on September 10th, 1990, the first internet search engine, Archie, was launched. It was used to index archives to make finding files easier. However, as the technology of the World Wide Web was not invented until later in the year, it was not the first web search engine. But that's interesting that it would be called Archie, don't you think? How you doing this morning, Fran?
I am well. How are you?
All is well. We are into this day in this week in tech history.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And do you want to pick up from where I stopped with?
Nope. Continue on. You're good.
Continue to apprehend it. Okay. The first computer bug, September 9th, 1945. Operators of the Harvard Mark II find a moth trapped in relay number 70 in panel F. The bug is taped to their troubleshooting log where it was written, first actual case of bug being found. This was not the first use of the term bug for computer problems, but it was the first time the term debug was used. So that's September 9th, 1945. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. I wonder how big that computer was.
So, but there was a moth in there that was causing a problem.
There was something flying around in there. Oh, okay. I'm gonna read this one because I think it's kind of humorous. The Recording Industry Association of America sues a 12-year-old. September 8th, 2003. The Recording Industry Association of America, how you doing this morning, TJ?
Morning.
Sues 261 people for sharing music on internet peer-to-peer networks, including 12-year-old Brianna Lahara. Eventually being sued against at least 30,000 people. They intended to reduce the amount of music being shared, but instead generated a public backlash against the recording industry. People got really upset, especially when they found out about the 12-year-old being sued. They were just done. Okay. September 7th, 2005, the iPod Nano was introduced. Anybody remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Apple introduces the iPod Nano, effectively replacing the iPod Mini. The move surprised many in the industry as the iPod Mini was extremely popular. However, the use of flash storage instead of a hard drive allowed for a much smaller form factor. I remember it looked like a
Mhm.
little square almost.
Yeah.
Remember?
Mhm. Yeah.
It was really cool. Instead of a hard drive, allowed for a much smaller form factor, increased reliability, and better battery life. So I'm going to end with those. I think those were significant. And if you want more, you can go over to thisdayintechhistory.com and continue your research. How you doing this morning, Pat? It's great to see you. So we acknowledge that today was, yeah, Pat's in the house from North Carolina. We acknowledge that today was 9/11, and we took a moment of silence to begin this program. And those of you who are joining on the replay or during the course of this program, you might want to take some time out today. Oh, so let's get started. I have a couple of things I wanted to talk about today. And one was, because I know this is just going to blow your mind, old school is trying to become new school. Um, and what do I mean by that? Well, let me get to this article here. Let's see. This is all about Facebook. Facebook is trying to reinvent Facebook with the launch of Campus for Facebook students. You know, that's where they started. So now, in order to get into this particular section of Facebook, you have to have a college ID, you know, an EDU ID, just like you used to. It says here,
Okay, so what's the name again? What is it called? Facebook for what?
it's called Campus, like
Oh,
college
okay.
campus. Facebook reinvents Facebook with the launch of Campus for college students, a place for college students to talk about school. Okay, now I'm going to read this article. This is from The Verge. Facebook is getting back to its roots today with the launch of a new product called Campus, a section of the main app specifically designed for college students. Campus is designed to be a place where students can interact only with peers at their school. They can access a campus only news feed, join groups, events, and group chat rooms called campus chats. Okay, pertaining to campus life. In a nod to the original Facebook, they'll even have access to a campus directory where they can find and friend other students. So, in order to access campus, students have to provide the EDU email address as well as their graduation year. And once they're in, they'll create a new profile specifically for this section. Now, I don't know. I didn't read the whole article, so I don't know if this is going to allow alumni. But anyway, because that's a whole nother ball of wax. Let's see. They'll have the option to add or remove their major classes, hometown, dorm, minor, and so you sort of get like a campus profile. It gives Facebook more data about what the college students are studying and who they're talking to, which gives them an opportunity for targeted ads, right? So I didn't just want to get down in the weeds on this, but I thought it was really interesting that old school is trying to become new school. And I wonder if it will even appeal to them because they're using so many other apps like Snapchat, etc. But I guess, let's see here. Here's, I see this, the word alumni. Alumni will be allowed to stay on campus, although Facebook will send a notification that suggests that they leave campus because it won't be as relevant to them. But in other words, they can still see what's going on over there. I don't know. If you're in college, do you really want, especially if you're a legacy, do you want your dad on there looking at what you're talking about? Okay. Campus might be one way Facebook tries to keep students and younger people on the original Facebook app and engage for longer. At the same time, it's building off behavior Facebook says it's already seen on the platform. So because students are getting in groups, etc. So I just thought that was interesting. Thoughts, people?
Okay.
Yeah, this was one of the stories I was going to bring up, so I'll just quickly mention that it's siloed. So it's more for like a campus. So if you're not allowed on a college campus physically, then you're not going to be a part of this. This is college only experience online.
Which is where they began, right?
Facebook started out as the Facebook in 2004, and you had to have an email that's ended in an edu from a college campus to join Facebook. And they changed it, so now everybody's on it.
So they say. well, the alumni thing, you know what I mean? I think.
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing I thought. If I was a college student, I want to be on. The reason I'm not on Facebook is because my mom's on there.
True.
Now, even my grandfather can be on there if he's an alumni. My dad.
Right. Because it's based on it's college only. So if you're not a member of that college or an alumni of that college, you won't be able to access it. So yeah. So Facebook. I don't know. I mean, are college kids hanging out? They might get the group that, okay, college spirit and we support our school, all that, but everybody that age is on TikTok. So,
you know what I'm saying? And Snapchat and things that they
and Snapchat
in high school. Yeah. So they've already migrated. I think it's the gate. It's too late. The cow's already out. Don't be trying to shut the gate. It's over, people. Okay. I was thinking when I saw this, I was thinking like as a college student, and they were saying because they could get their classes, get in their clubs, etc. I was thinking when I was in a sorority, I didn't necessarily want the grad chapter checking out my every move.
Well, I mean, I looked at the design and everything. I don't think it's really going to attract anybody that's not college age. I mean, why would I want to be there?
Yeah,
unless I'm going.
If you've already graduated, you're probably not going to want to be there.
Right. So it's more like a pep rally. It's more like a pep rally current kind of thing.
Okay. Like a woo woo, rah rah.
Yeah, school spirit, school colors, the mascot, da da da. I don't.
I can see the draw if you wanted to know what was happening at school.
Right.
You can go straight there. It's one location. You're not having to bounce all over the place because more than not, the school website might not.
That? But I guess not, huh?
Not necessarily
formal, huh? Okay.
Well, what I'm saying is, how much information do you get from an organization? The water cooler gives you more information than the actual company sometimes.
And all it really is a portal instead of the school. The school probably has their own intranet portal. So Facebook is like, okay, well, we're going to make this. So it's all to get the college kids to come over and use Facebook, which they're not.
Okay, because I'm sure they can't chat on the school's portal. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. Depending on how the school set it up.
Yeah, see, from campus. Okay. So, all right, because I was like, this is really weird. Okay, then I want to talk about Zoom's two-factor authentication that they're adding. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That's the news.
Yeah, yes, to keep people from just strolling in to your Zoom meetings. Now they have two-factor authentication.
Well, see, a lot. Just real quickly, a lot of how the Zoom bombing started was through the number and not the link. because you can go into a Zoom if you have the number, the phone
number. A person's account number?
No, phone number. You can join a Zoom via phone number, telephone. Dial the telephone.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So that was one way they were getting in.
So if they could see the number, then they could just go.
Well, when you create a Zoom, there's the link and there's a number, telephone number. Because I remember helping somebody to get into a meeting and they couldn't get in through the video link, and we had to try to get them in with the telephone.
Yes,
so they come in audio only. Right.
So they dialed in. So this is to keep down that wonderfulness.
Yeah, no, the two-factor authentication.
Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, the two-factor authentication is for the person who owns the Zoom account to be able to manage their account without somebody hacking in. Is that right?
Yeah, I think also that people that join will have to put in a code too, I think. From what I heard.
Can set it up either way. As the administrator, you can require them.
Right, the attendees, right.
To
have enter a code, right, and you give them the code when you set up the meeting, and when you send it to them via email. When you set up a Zoom meeting, all the information can be sent to them in an email. So, and you could put that code in and say, "Well, you have to enter a code," right?
Yes, and so
I believe they already do that. So
do that to an extent. This is something over and above that.
It's for all attendees. The attendees didn't have to do it before. Now they do. Like anybody coming in. That's a Zoom bomb. A Zoom bomb is people unauthorized coming in. So you stop that with the 2FA code. So if you're coming in, you got to know the code because I gave it to you. See,
and it generates it and sends it. You can receive it by text message also. You know how when you're going into your bank account and sometimes they want you to put the code in, they send you a code by text message or however you decided to receive it, and then you copy it and paste it in. It's the same, very exact same thing.
Right. And also something happened recently where I think it was Twitter. That's how they got around the authority of using somebody's account was the text factor TFA, which is not as reliable as using the app, the Google Authenticator app. It's not as reliable because someone could, if they have access to your account, they could possibly have access to your text messages via your phone number. So they could break in and get the code also because it's text message. So they're saying that level of two-factor authentication is not very reliable. It's more the Google Authenticator app. I use Zoho Mail. They have their own authenticator app. So that's the way to do it because the codes are generated every few seconds.
Randomly.
Right. So if they get the text message the authentication code, that's more likely to be stolen because the person could have access to your text messages also. That's what happened with Twitter, I think. Something with Twitter or one of the apps that's what it was.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That's how they got in because they had the two-factor authentication on, but they had text messaging set up to receive the code.
Yes. Okay. So now you're saying there's an app for that.
It's been out for a while. We mentioned it a couple times.
Right. And then also Apple has gotten into the authentication game too, because now if you want to authorize with your Apple ID, you can do that. Apple scrambles whatever they're sending to for the ID. Using your Apple ID to log into something.
Oh,
and they send it to your watch too. I love that because it goes to your watch and you can just double tap that.
Wow. Right, and then like if a Canva, I think, asked me if I wanted to sign in via my Apple ID. I was like,
oh, they're starting to do that. That's cool.
Right.
Because I would trust that over signing in. Because I never sign in with Facebook or Google. I always create an email. Yeah, because that's not secure. That's not what if your Facebook account was compromised or something? Mm-hmm. You don't want to do that. So I would never use the Facebook to log in or Google to log in. I would use email only, or now that Apple is doing their ID, I would use Apple ID over the others.
Okay.
Right. One more thing. They encrypt nobody would ever get to your Apple ID because Apple encrypts it for whatever mm-hmm. you're signing into. They're not getting your actual sign-in stuff. They're getting emails Apple to put together and sent to them. So yes, I would trust that too. Then it's easier. I can remember my Apple ID.
Yep.
Yes. To have to remember. I would be able to remember one thing.
I would never sign in with a website and sign in with, because you see it. It says, "Oh, sign in with your Facebook account." Nope.
Theo's in the house. Look at this.
Hey, Theo. Hey.
Theo says security is a myth. Hey.
Security is a myth. Yeah, but you can put as many locks on as you can. Mm-hmm. Slow them down. Yep. Roadblocks.
Well, I want to share this too, that the Black Panther titles are free right now on Comixology. So, and there's like 7 pages, 200 and some copies of the digital copies of the comic books. So I was like, what? Okay, and I think this is a great way if you have young readers in the house who like comic books. This is a great gift. Of course, you got to pay for the app. I have no idea what that is.
Who has the app?
I'm sorry?
Who has the
app? It's Comixology. I'll put the article in the chat here.
I wonder if they got permission from Marvel to do that.
Well, it says here Amazon owned cloud-based comic book platform Mixology appears to be offering a wide selection of Marvel's Black Panther comic books for free this weekend. The unannounced sale was noticed by tweeters, and many Marvel comics related to the fictional African country Wakanda, where Black Panther is set, are available for free. And I went over there and I ordered some comic books, and it was free. I put them in the cart, but then I had to download the app, and only to find out that
you can't read the comic books through Kindle. Because they said it's an app. It's Amazon's site, right? It's an Amazon. It's Amazon site. So I'm thinking, why can't I read it through Kindle
for free. I don't know.
Okay.
You download them. I just wanted y'all to know about that because when it said Black Panther, I said, let me go over here and check this out. Okay. So there you go. Over 200 some comic books around that particular
okay, so if you never, and the character's been around since the 60s, and if you haven't ever, you have to be a comic book person to even, if you're a comic book person, you know about it. Just saying.
Right.
Yeah, you're probably on this app anyway. Yes.
Right. Or you know about the app. And the comic book, the comic book is sometimes totally different than the movie that you have watched, because the comic book story, the movie has taken liberties. Because I'm like, hey, because I bought the comic books for Captain Marvel. And I'm like, how is this going? Okay. Just saying, you could just be ready
for a different take. Yes.
It's like sometimes the books are not like the movie.
Yes. There you go.
Right. But sometimes they're just not the same. You're like, hey, They went left in that book, not right. Okay. Okay, so Terry, anything else?
I'm good.
Okay, so we're ready for the social media recap for the week. Are we ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So this week, social media recap. Let's talk about Instagram. So Instagram has this, their new feature of Reels that they're trying to beat TikTok, which they're not going to do because everyone doesn't have all the features. Like I don't have music because I'm a business account, different things like that. They also don't have the editing features. TikTok keeps adding on more and more editing features. So when you make a TikTok a video, you can add all kind of cool, great things to it. But Reels doesn't really do that. They have some filters, but whatever. So, but Instagram is saying, so Instagram is playing around with the design of the app, trying to feature Reels so you'll notice it. So you may look at your Instagram one day and there's the button is on the bottom, it'll be at the top, or the Reels thing will be at the bottom. So they're trying to feature Reels and the shopping feature, and they're playing with the design because people are creatures of habit. So if I know that the Explore tab, the search feature is on the bottom left and it looks like a magnifying glass, I'll always look at the bottom left. So they're moving things around, confusing people, and a lot of people are complaining and not happy about it. But that's what Instagram is doing. They're trying to get their Reels featured, but they're confusing everybody in the process.
It's like it was on the left yesterday. Now it's on the top right.
On the bottom. Now
the furniture. The what did Fran say? They're always moving the furniture over there.
They're moving the cheese. Moving the cheese. Hey, Tachi.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Good morning.
I'm good. I'm here. Yay.
Yay, great. So, if you look for, the hearts is your likes, people that like your posts and things, that might not be on the bottom. It might be on the top right. So there was there's an image that shows like all the different combinations. So just be on the lookout for that and go, well, it was there here, but tomorrow it's going to be on the top. So Instagram doesn't know what to do.
Thank you, because I would have thought, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. And so also, you can now view your Instagram stories directly through Facebook. Yes. Only your Instagram followers can see your stories on Facebook, though. And there will be with stories, there's a colored circle. So on Facebook it's blue. And then on Instagram, it's like a rainbow pink and orange. So when you go to Facebook and look at the stories, you'll be able to tell which one came from Instagram and which one came from Facebook, which one is the original Facebook story and which one is an Instagram story. And they do this because a lot of people who are on Instagram, there's an option to automatically share your Instagram story to Facebook.
Correct.
And then they put all these interactive stickers on it, like, do you like this? Yes or no? Or, ask me a question. And then when it gets to Facebook, it really doesn't work. And it's annoying.
It's a different platform.
Yeah. So people who share their Instagram stories to Facebook and they use the interactive stories like polls and different things, it won't translate over to Facebook. But now, because and I said this way back, I forgot when I said this, that they were going to combine the app. Well, this is another step.
She said it here.
I said it. I remember everybody.
And you said this, Instagram and WhatsApp, right?
Facebook, the Messenger, all of it was going to be one. And when I said that, I remember a lot of people was like, here we are. We're on the road.
Oh, you.
We're on the road to it. We're on the road to it. So now get ready for stories, not Facebook stories and not Instagram. Just get ready for stories, and they'll be in the same place. Why is Facebook doing this? Because Facebook has a retention problem, especially with Gen Z and Gen Alpha. They don't want to be on Facebook. So Facebook bought Instagram and is now Frankensteining it into the main Facebook app.
Okay, I have a question. What do y'all think? Thoughts, guys, and you guys out there in the audience, what do you think? Do you think that Instagrammers will find another platform because they have no intention of wanting to be on Facebook?
No, because people that love Instagram, and some of them are on Facebook and some of them are not. But their Facebook group, the Facebook group, are very loyal to Facebook, not so much to Facebook. This is Facebook. This is Mark Zuckerberg wanting some of the shine and the glory from Instagram to shine on to his old app where grandma and grandpa are hanging out.
So he's zucking Instagram.
They want to suck that youthful life out of Instagram and put it on the Facebook app. That's what they're trying to do.
But you know what? But why?
Because Zuckerberg love it. It's your baby. Okay, this is Zuckerberg. I'm not sure. I'm just saying what I imagine. This is Zuckerberg. This is his baby. He grew it since 2004 and beyond, and before that. This is his baby. Mm-hmm. And the baby, nobody wants to look at the cute baby anymore. They're looking at the cute baby that's Instagram, and definitely they're in love with the cute baby called TikTok, which is why he put the bug in. This is the deal. Allegedly, he put the bug in the ear of 45 to, hey, look at what TikTok is doing. Hey, this was the talk that I read online. That this is how it all got started. So now, so Zuckerberg, it's his baby. You're not paying attention to his baby. It's not, you don't love his baby anymore. You love the other babies. So he bought a baby. He bought a new baby called Instagram a few years ago and tried to say, hey, let's put these two babies together so you'll pay attention to the Facebook baby. But we're not doing it.
We're not doing it. We just...
It's his baby. He loves it.
But really quickly, if maybe this is the time, Mr. Zuckerberg, if I may, for you to begin to stop being the master of none. If you see that there's a gravitation that skews older on your platform, why not go with that? I'm not saying ignore Gen Z. I'm not saying ignore Gen Alpha. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely not saying ignore Gen X. What I am saying is that if you see there's an older contingency there, why not improve it to make it something that they can really enjoy? Because older people spend money. Yeah, Gen Z and all of them spend the money, but it's not their money, it's their parents' money. So if there's something that you can do to solidify that, and I know why you're not doing it, because it's not cool and hip to do that.
Facebook needs to grow old gracefully. You ever see people talk about, and I don't know if this is fair or not, but they say actresses should grow old great. Actors and actresses, they get the Botox and all this, and some of it looks good and some of it looks horrible. They say, oh, you should grow old gracefully, but a lot of people they want to hold on to the youth. So Facebook wants to hold on to the youth. And another reason why, remember what was hot before Facebook? What was really popular? With
MySpace. MySpace.
So what happened to MySpace? It's gone.
Well, it's gone, and that's thanks to Facebook. But I think also MySpace got out of control. They weren't.
Yes.
It got really crazy and out of control over there.
A lot of reasons, but my main point for this is that apps age. There's a lifespan of an app. There's a lifespan of an app. Before MySpace, it was Friendster. They was everybody loved that. Yeah, everybody loved, and there's a lifespan of an app. Facebook.
Okay, so why not just come up with something new? Just give us a new.
You cannot. Do you know who you're talking about now?
Okay, wait, Terralina. Remember Lasso. Remember the dating app? Remember what are all the apps that they created that died on the vine?
Well, they didn't even give the stuff time to grow
because nobody wanted it. That's why they tested. That's why they tested in other countries like Brazil and India and stuff. because that's the testing ground. If it doesn't work there, they're not going to spend the money because they have to pay developers. They have to pay people. That's more money, more expenses for the company.
It's not like they ain't got cash. Go ahead.
No, I'm with Dr. Tachi. They have one thing that they have down, which is the Facebook. The
business.
Business, your news feed.
Yes.
Stay right there in that little wheelhouse. Stay there and make that good. Make it really, really well done. And then let Instagram stay where Instagram is.
But that is why the Instagram creators left. Remember when Facebook bought Instagram and the two creators, I forgot their names, the guys who created the app, they stayed with Facebook for a long time. And then like 2 years ago, there was this big blow up and they left in a huff. Angry. They left angry. There's a reason why. Because Zuckerberg wants to do, and I'm not in his head, nobody's in his head, but he's got some plan of thing he wants Facebook to be, and it can't be that. Like you're saying, it can't be that. They're like Frankenstein in things. Let's steal the Snapchat thing and plug it in. Let's take the TikTok thing and plug it in. Let's take dating and campus and this and that. Yeah, Frankenstein it. Why? Because Taji said they're the master of none. They cannot create anything original. They had to buy or Frankenstein things that we have now. They bought WhatsApp. The only thing he created is Facebook. Nothing else.
And he didn't even do that all the way himself. But I have a question for you.
Winklevoss twins.
Exactly. I have a question for you. So what do you see as the future of Facebook if they can't, to me, it doesn't bode well for an app that doesn't have an original thought and they constantly have to wait for somebody else to develop something and then ride on their coattails.
We see it already. We see it already. TikTok happened.
Correct.
And he tried to knock the legs out. They're trying to knock the legs out. That's Zuckerberg driving that. That's what was said online. I read a lot of technology journalists and stuff, and that was whispered in the background that Zuckerberg put a bug in his ear.
So where do you see Facebook going?
Facebook should stick with the business part of it. Also, like you said, the older demographic is comfortable with Facebook. Make them more comfortable. They're not going to run and say squirrel and run to the new thing. Stick with the people that you know. Dance with the one that the older crowd. But they don't want to do that. Zuckerberg wants you to look at him. Zuckerberg wants the cool kids. He wants the kids. And they're all running to TikTok and he's mad. That's what this is.
See, what I don't understand is why we can't have a number of different restaurants. Okay, y'all like In-N-Outs? Fine.
We can.
I want to go.
This all goes back and Tachi will tell you that media loves 18 to 34.
Then give them a place to go.
They love that demo group, and anybody that falls out of it, they're like, you're just throwaways to Facebook.
But so Facebook can still do the 18 to 34.
Yes.
They'll bring in all of the what were we doing yesterday, Terry? I was walking through the store and I saw on the shelf of grocery outlet, they had like a book with stickers in it, like we did when we played
the planner
with paper dolls. There was stickers for you to put on your planner. I'm like, I am so not in that genre where I put stickers on my planner.
This goes in the media.
Let me tell you, you think you're not until they send you something. Howard sent us stuff. I put these stickers all over things.
Well,
it's perception.
An alumni thing. She's,
I'm talking about flowers and bling and stuff. I'm like, can I just use the planner?
The stickers
that's true.
The stickers are a big business. I'm telling you.
Yeah, stickers are a big business.
If you guys go into Michael's, right next to the planners are all these different stickers for different.
Stickers are for the Instagram crowd. I'm telling you, it's for the because I've watched this lady on YouTube and she has her desk and her her planners are all organized, color coded, and they have stickers. And her desk has it's clear, and then on the floor there's a white carpet, and there's just stuff. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's going to go out soon. That's the trend. You know, that's really
what
the
I mean. A
trend.
trend. Yeah, trend.
It is. It's a trend. And then next year, everybody's going to be all done with the blush and the white fluffy rugs and the clear lucite. Everybody's going to be done. So it's the same thing with these apps. You know, they trend. And there are ebbs and flows. And I think that's okay. But the way to ride out the storm is to be able to ride those ebbs and flows and to read your audience and not just do things because you see somebody else doing it or because you want to do it. You really have to learn.
Here's a good example. Remember Blab? And we all love Blab. And then it became this thing that all the podcasters and creators and coaches and stuff were using. But Blab didn't want us. They wanted house party 18-year-old kids to use their app, but they had people that were willing to pay because it was free. Remember, they had people that were willing to pay and beg them, please take my money, and they said no because they didn't want an older crowd. But that's what they had. They had a business concept that workable, but they didn't want it because in their head they wanted the 18-year-old kid. So
somebody needs to send them a memo that says, does it change the check?
Thank you. Who gives two damns as long as the zeros after the commas are right? Who gives a damn?
I know, I agree, but that's what they wanted. Because I remember going to all the town halls. That was the thing. Because they wanted to be hip with the hip and the 18 to 20 to 30. They didn't want the over 30 crowd that was bringing in business, bringing in Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, all these people, big names was coming over to Blab, and they didn't care. They didn't care. And
that's the stupid thing because they bring that demographic brings money, number one, but also the demographic you want, they don't go to town halls. So if there's something you want them to know, they're not going to know. They're not going to care.
Right. I'm just saying that's the attitude of with Facebook. They have a core group, small business owners. That's where they get all of their ad budget money from, not the big corporations with this, the thing that they had in with the June or July, the boycott. That really did a dent as far as awareness and PR, but as far as their money, it came from the small guy. From the small business owner, the small business lady, solopreneur running ads. A lot of impact either. Keep them happy. Keep them happy, Facebook, and you'll be okay. But they want the shiny new, what the kids are wearing, they're doing over there in the corner. We want those guys. That's what they want.
And the people who pay the bills are like, can you just give me this without all of that?
Keep us happy. Stop moving.
I'm gonna use the word the kids said. You were doing extra. Stop.
Or you're doing too much. TEW much.
And look what Facebook did with the new design. The new design they forcing it on everybody. It's horrible if you're a business owner with a page.
That happened to me in the middle of media school.
I hate it.
I was like, what the hell? I can't share this now.
I am so exhausted with the changes. Now they got a whole new thing for business. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't know if I can do it. They just change so often that it's just exhausting. And now
the new design
somewhere else on Instagram, I'm just like, really?
The new design is to attract and make the younger users happy. Bring them on. Look what we did, guys. We put on the new fashionable Supreme, whatever the hot label is now for kids.
This is grandma wearing hot pants.
Yes.
Stop it.
It is not going to work.
I have heard so many people, business owners, complaining that they hate this new design. I'm one of them, but Facebook doesn't care. They push it out on us anyway. And you can't find nothing.
This kind of seems like this whole opposite thing happening, because remember years ago, even though youth has kind of always been a focus, when it came to high level things and high level marketing, often they were not. In some senses, yes, depending on what the product was. If you're a McDonald's or whatever, you target the youth because you want them to tell their parents to take them there. But, if you look at things like, for example, with fashion, for the longest time, fashion was not necessarily focused on the youth per se, if that makes sense.
Right.
If that makes
Not
sense.
popular. They think of like Chanel, they knew their audience, so they focused on their audience.
So they focused on their audience. You had Giorgio Armani focused on their audience, but then when they started to see the importance that the youth had to pop culture, etc., and I can only get person X to buy this product so many times at this luxury price, what I'm going to do is start an Armani Exchange, which is a lower priced,
lower, a different line, cheaper
line that can draw in the youth. So they still feel like they're wearing a high-end label, but it is for them. So, when you look at fashion, it kind of talks about that shift to the focus on the youth in a way.
Well, everybody's doing it. I mean, Peloton, everybody's, Xbox, this is one for this level and one for that. And now that new Xbox, you can actually do payment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come on, now they got you on a phone plan for the Xbox. I'm just the type of plan, where you're paying it off. So I'm exhausted.
Yeah, we are Facebook. And this is Facebook. Throwing the master of none, throwing spaghetti on the wall. What sticks, what works, blah blah blah. Because the new hot person, the new it app, everybody wants TikTok, so they're trying, look over here, do this, do that, and ignoring their core
TikTok.
And they're ignoring their core group, which is small business owners. But they
they people to blab if they want to. I don't know. We might be somewhere else. Maybe we'll just be on YouTube and Periscope.
But from the things I've read from being in Mark Zuckerberg's head, it's kind of like an egomaniac thing where maybe that's why him and 45 get along so well. But he got a thing about his Facebook
micromanaging
his baby.
It sounds like he wants to do it his way, and if you want to do it that way, some stuff is going to suffer.
Right, and that's what I said when the two co-founders of Instagram left after so many, they'd been there for a year or two. I mean, it's not Facebook bought them, and everything was good, and all of a sudden it was like a big story in Wired. The two founders left in a huff, and it was angry things and this. I said, there's a problem between those guys and Zuck wants to Frankenstein their baby, and they weren't.
And see, Snapchat didn't sell out.
No, remember. They wanted to buy Snapchat way back, and Snapchat was like, no. And don't count. And I hear a lot of people still today saying, oh, well, Snapchat, nobody's using that. Yet they have a core dedicated audience of people, fans, certain age that love the app. So I don't know what it doesn't have to be 100 billion users.
See, and that's the thing I think people do not understand. You don't have to have everybody in the world buying from you.
No.
You want the people who
102 frames
from you, buying from you.
Consistently, always there when you show up. Always there. This is why celebrities that have big followings can sell things, because they have a big following of dedicated core hardcore fans that are there. They don't even have to activate them or ask them. All they have to do is put out something or say something or champion something, and that core group of fans is there. BTS is one that comes to mind. They're there. Boom. It's like an army.
I went in there today. I went to Apple Support on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel, and you can learn about how to do all your stuff with Apple. Anything, how to look. They had how to put together a 3D something with your phone. I was like, shut up! I didn't know all that was over there. But and then in the comment section, I can't wait to the Apple event that's coming up. I was like, really?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. There are some people who are just like, we're just waiting. And they're like,
I follow some of those people on Twitter. They were talking about it the event last week that it's going to be a certain date. They have a core group of people that they know because they talk to the Apple people and the Mac people. Or they talk to this tech. They all are in the know. So if you follow them, you can hear whispering, but that's another thing of a core group that they are, actively looking at this and making a community where people want that information. And if birds of a feather is what comes to my mind. If you like that, you're going to flock and join with them. And then the group gets bigger.
Right. And it's okay if you're in your company, dance with the people who are with you.
Yes. Don't leave them
looking out
with the one
don't let them stand on the sidewalk lines go, well, you brought me to the dance, what about me? But you trying to get the hot girl, the homecoming queen, or the whoever.
And I paid the dance. Okay. You know what?
I bought this dress. I got this. We got this limo. We got this, we got this, that. And you left me on the side.
You didn't even come to me.
All right, so that's Facebook. It's going to be a continuing saga of Who Moved My Cheese, and they are going to do things that we don't like because of, I'm just going to say Zuckerberg. That why, I'm going to say Zuckerberg. That's going to be my answer because it's him.
And I'm going to take another cue from TJ. You make sure that you have all your contacts, the people you do business with needs to be in a database that you own.
That's all.
Because if he decides I'm packing it up.
And another thing with this new design, I think I may have mentioned it before. You know how you have an about page on the old design? Well, you don't have that anywhere. So you have to, all that information that was written there, if you didn't get a chance to save it, it's gone. But I think you can switch back and get it and copy it and bring it out. But again, they redesigned business pages. It's frustrating to business owners. We don't know what's what. Like Taji said, the thing changed her in the middle. She didn't know how to share this and that. And that's not just her. That's everybody.
It was difficult just to load stuff in the store.
It was like Facebook. Who asked you? Who asked you, Facebook? Who asked you?
Nobody.
All right, so the last story, we're going to talk about TikTok. Now, remember, it's still talks in a holding pattern. We got until the 20th. Old baby
still on the auction block.
Old big baby is, I'm going to ban. So yeah, okay. So, but remember I said last week that now Chinese government entered into the thing and saying, well, we put our own rules on that. We have to look at anything that has proprietary technology like the algorithm in TikTok. And you can buy TikTok, but you can't buy the algorithm. That's like buy the car, you can't have the engine. I don't want it. So we're in that spot. So now they're saying that September 20th deadline may be extended. These are, financial analysts. Yeah, financial because they need more time for the deal.
This is worse than a soap opera. You keep dragging the story out. Come on, people.
So I follow journalists on Bloomberg, on CNBC, all the financial sectors and channels and journalists, and they're all saying that it's more than likely there will be an extension to the deadline because they need more time, and China is going to need time to review the deal itself, because the deal could be packaged on our end in the USA, but then they got to put their own stamp of approval of it over there. The owner of ByteDance is extremely upset because he doesn't want to sell his baby. Again, these app developers, it's like their baby because they've created this thing for years. They've lived, they breathed it, slept, didn't sleep, and they love it. So they want you to love their baby too, and they don't want to be separated from their baby. So you got all of these things going in.
I think that the core audience for TikTok is probably going to rally behind and do what Dr. Tachi said last week, change their country of origin to do something in order just to keep it rolling.
Right. Now, you could still use the app if you have it downloaded. You just won't get any updates. That's the deal. It won't disappear from your phone. It's just you won't get any updates if the ban goes into effect without the sale.
Wow.
Also, I've read another story that's saying even if Walmart, Microsoft buys it, it's not going to be the same. That something will change because they won't have all of the pieces of the puzzle because China's not going to give you all the pieces of the puzzle. So
it's going to be trash.
Yes, it's going to be trash. People, the influencers, the creators that love what makes TikTok, the essence won't be there. So they might go to Dubsmash or Triller or whatever the new thing is. I'm pretty sure there are tons of developers right now writing TikTok-like apps to jump on this trend. Because you got the trend, the not even trend. I'm thinking this core group of users that love TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't want to give up TikTok. So where are they going to go? Well, you gotta, build another boat for them to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is what's going on with TikTok right now. Like I said, watch the space. There's gonna be another thing next week, and so as closer we get to the deadline, it's a mess. It's a clown car. I said last week it's a clown car.
Wow.
So expect more clowns to jump out of the TikTok sale, the sale of TikTok, this car. So it's a clown car.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, wow. Well, a lot's been happening in media. I know you got a lot to share with us. And I'm so talked with Tik. And I've been, what is it? Zucked. And I've been zucked.
We've been Frankenstein.
Okay.
Blabbed.
Tell me something good.
Worked over.
I'll try.
I need a doctor now. Come on, doc.
Uh-oh. Wow. Well, I'm probably the wrong kind of doctor to help you with that, but here we go. So there's a lot that's happening. There's a lot of things that I talked about on Mediascope on Wednesday. But there is one thing that I saw that came out today that's very interesting. You all know the publication, The Atlantic. They actually have signed up 20,000 plus paying customers.
What?
After the article about the person who lives in the White House trashing the U.S. military came out. So because of that, in that 5-day period after they published that article, 20,000 paid subscribers.
Wow. Wow. That makes the accounting department very happy.
They're like, they've got their adding machines. Okay, even though nobody uses that anymore, but I
know. Yeah,
it makes for a better visual.
Yeah.
So that they're projecting that 20,000 plus new subscribership has added at least an annual revenue of $1 million to the magazine. Now that's not a lot, but it is in the world of publishing today. Yeah. So and this is what they say. Our readers have demonstrated how much they value our reporting with a record 20,000 subscriptions in just 5 days. So I've always liked The Atlantic as a publication. I read their pieces all the time, but they've been going through, not just them, but publishing and journalism has been going through growing pains in general because of, this started with the advent of the internet and them not really wanting to put their papers and things online, their publications online. They still wanted people to do print. People aren't doing print as much. Subscriptions in general are down. So they've been forced to do this online thing. So the fact that they've gotten this many subscribers is a big thing. Now, what we're going to have to watch for is churn. And that's where people subscribe in droves when something is new, like a Disney Plus or an Apple TV Plus. But then after the newness has worn off, they cancel their subscription. So we'll see.
Wait, Tasha, I'm just laughing because I'm still thinking when you said this online thing, I'm thinking of the old guys at all of these companies going, this online thing, we hate it. With this old, the grumpy old man thing. I just can't get it out of my head. Yeah, this online thing. This is bad.
They're always sitting there, veins are bulging, angry all the time. Exactly, never wanting to change. And if we look back to the days of, remember in the early 2000s, late night the 1990s, early 2000s, there was that .com boom where everything was like, oh, .com, and then there was the .com crash, for which I know journalism, these papers and things were happy about, because it meant they could continue the old ways. But it was only a matter of time before it resurged again. So that's good. Congrats to the Atlantic. Now the challenge is keeping these new subscribers happy. Happy enough to remain subscribers. So that's something that actually came out today. So there are a couple of things that I talked about that I wanted to bring up. For anybody who says there's no God, I cannot subscribe to your thought, because in 2021, the Kardashians will be no more. Keeping Up with the Kardashians has been not canceled, but the family has decided they will no longer.
They made enough money.
They've made enough money. They don't need the show. Let's be clear.
I don't know why I'm so happy I never watched it. I'm just tired of them.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: it's a smart business move. They understand. They went, okay, this is not going to keep going on. Do you understand? They tested. They are ahead of the game. There are some people who will try and keep it on and let's ride it until the horse just dies. But they did like Jerry Seinfeld. I'm getting out while we're still good.
While we're winning.
Exactly. Brand. $1 billion brand. I will give it to them. I will give it to Kris Jenner. Yes, you are the master of marketing, and you know how to turn one piece of content into all of this. One piece of content.
And understand that the people are no longer necessarily watching that or watching the family. Hopefully the other reality people get a hint too, but where that is not of national importance anymore. Right. And so
good times don't last always.
Exactly. So I think, again, they are truly 100% masters of marketing. Kris Jenner, I will give it to you. I went to NatP. It had to be 7 years ago when I was at NatP, and Kris Jenner was on the stage talking. They were talking about her whole media and marketing empire, and I was like, phenomenal. I think you all are completely useless, but I can't hate on your hustle. Good for you. Clapping. You're useless, but I'm clapping for you.
You need to teach a college course or something.
Oh, but here's my thing. I think, she is a master of marketing, but here's the thing. I think there needs to be a balance between knowing how to impart information and actually having information, because everybody who teaches doesn't necessarily have the know-how. Everybody who has the know-how doesn't necessarily know how to teach, and I've seen that. So I don't know about her and teaching.
Some things she could probably say, but I think this lightning in a bottle, that they got that one thing, and I don't mean the show, I mean the thing that preceded the show that got her onto the radar of everybody knowing her name. She took that
there are two things. There are two things.
The fact that she talk about.
There's two things. The fact that she is the ex-wife of Robert Kardashian, who was part of the legal team for O.J. Simpson. That was one thing. And then the other thing is that the sex tape that Ray J and Kim Kardashian had.
She took that and ran. She knew what to do with it, is what I mean. Kris Jenner. I'm talking Kris Jenner. I'm not talking Kim or any. I'm talking Kris Jenner knew what to do with that little piece of attention that captured the entertainment and the thing.
Yeah, because it could have been the end. And not,
she knew what to do with it. She knew what to do with it.
It could have been the end instead of the beginning.
Somebody who didn't know what to do with it media-wise, and it could have just died on the vine, but she took it and look at it now. So
she knew how to spin that, and they don't need this show, to be honest, anymore, because they've been able. The show has actually giving them a platform for all the products and things they're doing. So they really don't have to do anything else again with media, although don't cancel them out for media. I suspect they're going to come back with some new projects, probably executive producing some things, if not on television themselves again, but they'll definitely still have a foot in media. But this is so the Keeping Up with the Kardashians was on for 20 seasons over 14 years.
And here's another one more thing that Chris knew how to do was that as Kim was aging out, and I don't mean this negatively, I'm just saying that her age and she got married and had kids, you lose the younger crowd, so you got a younger daughter.
They brought in baby girl.
Put baby in the spot and jazz her up, and there you go.
Did she not get? Was it her that had the lipstick line that sold out?
Yeah, Kylie Cosmetics. Right. And at one point she was on the Forbes billionaire list, but they removed her because they said it was kind of like fudged or whatever. There was a whole controversy with that. But the point is she has made a trailer load of money off of the line, and they all have. So yeah, exactly. So they've been able to spin their nothingness into something. So good for them. They said after what will be 14 years, 20 seasons, hundreds of episodes, and several spin-off shows, we've decided as a family to end this very special journey. We're beyond grateful to all of you who watched us for all these years, for the good times.
Thank you for your money.
The bad times, exactly. The happiness, the tears, the many relationships with and children. We'll forever cherish the wonderful memories and countless people we've met along the way.
You don't have to go home, but you gotta get out of here.
That's what they're like, peace, witches. So they're gone. But again, look for them to be part of production and media, etc. They're not done with media yet. They'll be popping up. Exactly.
Somebody's going to have a law show as soon as they finish school. Yeah. Okay. I have a question. What's going on with the Fresh Prince? Are you going to talk about that? No.
Ooh.
Okay.
I was not, but yes, they are doing a spin-off called Bel-Air.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be a drama, right?
It's supposed to be a drama, which yes, it's supposed to be a drama.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a comedy.
You got to watch the trailer.
No. Yeah, that's I believe. That is actually supposed to be that. I mean, that actually should be. I lost my train of thought, but there was something I was going to say specific about it. And I lost my train of thought.
Right?
What happened?
Well, is something going on with the Golden Girls too?
No, well, yeah, Golden Girls happened. Well, I don't know. Okay, so if you did not watch, Zoom has been doing these things called Zoom Where It Happens, and that is basically their way of helping to raise awareness and funding for different things. So this past. What day was it? I don't remember what day it was, but this past week, I think it was Monday. Well, Sunday, Monday, this past week, they had a reimagining of the Golden Girls as a Black cast with Alfre Woodard as Sophia. Rose was played by Tracy Ellis Ross. Regina King played Dorothy, and then Blanche was played by Sanaa Lathan. The wonderful writer. What's her name? Lena Waithe. She was actually the narrator in a way, read kind of like the stage directions. So it was a table read. It was basically a live table read, and they did it via Zoom. There were a couple of light costume changes, and they did the flu episode. Remember when they all got sick? If you remember that Golden Girls episode. So I knew it right away. It started. I said, I remember this episode because I'm a Golden Girls stan, and I love that show. So I remember the episode right away, and it was really a lot of fun. Now, this was really done in order to raise awareness about voter registration for the census, and also for becoming registering to become a poll worker. So it was all around the census and kind of voter information type of stuff. So it wasn't during the episode they were talking about that, but afterwards, they brought that in and they did introduce it. And here's the other big thing about it. So social media people are never exempt now from being involved in these things. If you remember, in 2016 on social media, this guy who was saying like a gospel version of
you played the clip on the show with
yes. He actually, they've tapped him, and it was 2016, but it made a resurgence because of TikTok. So they tapped him to sing the theme song at the beginning and the end, his version of it. It was hilarious, and it just really shows you how important social media figures have become to regular media. I shouldn't say regular, traditional media. Right. So that happened, and they're going to continue. Now, what I don't know is if they're going to continue to do episodes of the Golden Girls, or they're going to do other things, because they've done other things in the past, and it happens on Tuesdays. It's Tuesdays that it happens. So I don't know. Yeah, it happened Tuesday. So on Tuesdays, they've been doing this. So I don't know what the next thing is going to be, or if it's going to be another episode of the Golden Girls and who's going to be in it. But I think it's very interesting that Zoom is doing this.
Yeah, Zoom, I was just saying I saw on Twitter this week that Zoom, they're doing the Princess Bride on a Zoom thing. They're going to have all the actors do the Princess Bride, the movie. Okay. And it's going to... I think it's going to a fundraiser or something political for Wisconsin, because there was people got upset because I'm never going. They were mad because of the political aspect of it, and getting mad at the actors because they were doing it because it was going to the Democrats. But this Zoom thing where casts are getting on and doing old shows and old movies and things, it's big, yeah. So they're doing one for the Princess Bride. I'm not sure.
Okay, great. Okay, so it's
right, but you have to pay for that. Was not free. You got to pay because the money's going to.
Oh, it's a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser.
Yeah, but I saw it because people were angry at the cast because they were picking sides. It's a big mess. I'm like, you guys stop. So if you love the Princess Bride, they're going to do the Zoom thing with the cast, just like this Golden Girl thing. Okay. So just go to Twitter and search. Go to Twitter and
that's cool. Search. That's cool. I didn't know they were doing the Princess Bride, and I think I think this is the future of media. In case nobody knew what to do when productions are still shut down for the most part, and there are all sorts of rules that you have to abide by in order to have a safe set now, and it precludes really going back to business as usual in production. So you have to find creative ways to do these things, and why not do it creatively and still do it for a good cause, to raise awareness or whatever the case may be. So I think this is really the future of production. Not all production, but certainly some production is going to swing this way. It's easy, it's quick, it's engaging. They maxed out in terms of, because Zoom can only have, I think, 100,000 people on the platform. I think they maxed out because 200,000 people registered to watch.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, we're going to see that again. That is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's a great way to get new content. We may see Zoom go into the content business.
And it's a great way to connect with viewers because you had to register in order to watch it. So now I have your email. Now I know you like to watch these types of things. Talk about targeting. That's the type of targeting that you can't get with traditional media when you're talking about, you may have millions of people watching, but you don't know who they are. You don't know what their likes are. You certainly don't have their emails. So
I put the link for the Princess Bride because I just saw from Deadline, Whoopi Goldberg and Eric Idle and Josh Gad, the guy who does the snowman.
Oh,
he's gonna be. They're all joining the cast. So there's an article from Deadline I put in there. If you guys
did that come out today? Did that come out today? Okay. Okay. That's why I didn't see it. I'm like, why didn't I see that? Because I get Deadline stuff in my feed. So
it says September 9th. Wait a minute. It says September 9th, the article. So Yeah, this week I saw I was on Twitter. I retweeted something and they got angry because it's for the Wisconsin Democratic Party, and I don't know. Let's not
get one Princess Bride, people. It
exactly. They're mad at the actors because they're saying the actors are picking a side. I don't know.
Which they can do whatever the heck they like. Okay, as long as
Princess Bride.
They were whining on Twitter that you ruined my favorite movie because I was like, what?
Girl, please.
You can see the whole mess if you go to Twitter and do the Princess Bride. You'll see the whole mess. So
some people just ought not talk. I mean, be quiet. Nobody asked if you.
I'm like, I want to see now. And you can donate any amount, I believe. So if you want to donate whatever, and you'll get to be a part of the Zoom.
Absolutely. I mean, theoretically, they could do the same thing for any political party. Although I'm sure they would be hard pressed to get people to vote for Satan or to give money because of Satan. I'm sure they'd be hard pressed, but theoretically, in a normal political climate, you could do it for either party.
The original cast, and the thing about the Princess Bride is the original cast: Billy Crystal, Mandy Patinkin, and Carol Kane, Carrie Elwes.
I did see that. I did see that. As soon as you said Billy Crystal, I'm remembering now seeing the picture in the article. Yeah.
Princess Bride, that's a lot. I think the giant guy. I don't think he's with us anymore. Andre the Giant.
Alive.
Everybody that's here is going to be. So that's why it's such a big deal, because this is a one of the movies that people love. So
yeah, because you watch The Princess Bride just because it came on TNT, or because it came on, you'd be like, oh, well, let's just watch this.
Okay, well, it's on, so let's watch it. Yeah.
So, but go ahead.
I have okay. Okay, I didn't want to interrupt the
no. So you can see.
Oh, great. So there are a couple of other things that I want to talk about really quickly. The Oscars. If you have not heard, there are new inclusion requirements for the Oscars that you have to have. So if you go to Oscars.com, you could see like all of the eligibility requirements there. But this is being done so that there is some equity. So there are inclusion requirements, though, for Best Picture eligibility. So this is really for Best Picture, and including that 30% across the board of everybody working on that film. So it's not just 30% of the actors, it's like across the board needs to be people of color, I think women, I think LGBTQ is in there, but particularly they're looking at underrepresented groups like Indigenous, Black people, Black African, Asian, right. So there is a new rule for inclusion. And now, again, this all really started with a whole hashtag Oscars So White allegation and hashtag campaign. So since then, they have been trying to do things to be inclusive, but have not done a very good job until this year, where they had 819 people that were invited to be part of the Academy, and they comprised of people of color, of women, of, all different. So they're trying to be more inclusive, because what's happening is the reason that the same old nonsense keeps winning and everybody looks homogeneous in these productions is because you have the same people that look like them voting. And
Academy members vote for the same thing over and over.
And here's the thing, and you just have to be blunt about it. When you are not a person of color, an underrepresented person, you don't have to think outside of the box and consider others. You've never had to. So as a whole, right? And so because of that, you see, oh yeah, that's a great thing. So we're always the ones that have to remind you, yeah, but more people live in the world besides you. Oh wow, I didn't think about that. Right. So it's not always intentional. It's just that they have been socialized. The people that are involved in this have been socialized in a box of, this is what great film is. This is what great media is.
curated, boxed in, whatever, and they don't go outside of their box to experience new things.
I mean, and I'll give you a quick example. When I went to New York Film Academy for school, for part of my 10 million schoolings. So after I graduated with my PhD, I went back to school and went to New York Film Academy. So for film production again. Mm-hmm. So I noticed at New York Film Academy that the things that they were showing us, there were no films by people of color that they showed us at all. There was only one room. They named the different rooms after, like they had Scorsese, Spielberg, they had the Spike Lee room. That was the only filmmaker of color that they had a room named after. So of course I said something. I said, excuse me, why are there no people of color that we're looking at in terms of film? And the instructor had the audacity to tell me, well, if this were like a world cinema, take the number 2 train to hell. How dare you say?
Where's the Gordon Parks room? Where's the, I mean, there's so many names.
What about Julie Dash? What about Yuzan Palzi? What about, I mean, there are so many, well, first of all, none were women and none were people of color. So again, that's what I'm talking about, that mindset that when this is all you see, that's what you put out there. And that's why we're not included. So the Academy has made a concerted effort now to do that. And now they have these inclusion rules because I'm sorry, people just don't do the right thing and include when there's no rule. When there is no rule, there's no legislation, they won't do it.
See Mark's comment about Christy Alley. Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems to me like we always get into these what would you call them? Whatever. Processes, these structured processes after they are antiquated.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to be Miss America. We get to be Miss Universe. Now they're going to let us in the Academy. But heck, we can go on the internet, put up our phone and make our own movie. We don't need you. And then we can put it over on Zoom and get paid. Now you want to let us in. So
because they realize that we sell. Nothing is ever a niceness thing. Let's be clear. And this is not a value judgment on anybody in the Academy or anybody there. And as I say, I truly believe it's the thing is that it's just perpetuating status quo. Initially, the point was to keep us out initially at the very beginning of Hollywood. But now this point is not necessarily to keep us out. The point is that they just keep doing what has been done. And on the other end of it, there's this thought that, well, overseas or in mid-America, they don't want to see XYZ or don't want to hear about XYZ. So nobody steps up to do what's right. All right, which is what we have to do now is make it a rule since you can't do it on your own. So, so what are these new rules? Again, if you go to the website, you can see. So here's a couple of things. So there's groups. Group A, I think it's group A through E, and you just have to meet 2 of these criterion to be considered. You don't have to meet them all. Okay. So it has to have one of the following: at least one lead or significant supporting actor from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group, or at least 30% of a cast in secondary and minor roles from 2 underrepresented groups, or main storyline or subject that centers on an underrepresented group. That's group A. And there are all these other groups. So you just have to meet 2 of those. It is not that difficult. I don't understand why this had to be a rule, but again, makes me look at you like side-eye. I had to tell you to do this? Really? So that's the new thing that has come down from the Oscars and the Academy. And I suspect that the same will start to happen with the Television Academy, which is a subsidiary. They're all the Academy, but you have Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and the Television Academy. So I suspect that this will start to trickle down. And I suspect to start to see these across things like the Golden Globes, etc., to prevent, really when you look at all the people of color and underrepresented groups that are in Hollywood, you mean to tell me Nobody is qualified for this. So this is why you have to do things like this, and it's a shame. So yeah, and I did hear about Kirstie Alley. I'll ask her to take several seats, and I've already bought you a ticket on the 4:15 train to hell. So please board. Watch your step.
Mark Ward said she got all bent out of shape about the new Oscar requirements. I guess that diversity is not a core principle of Scientology.
And I have to apologize because I was laughing at the beginning when Chachi was talking because I saw all of Mark's comments. And I was like, okay. But she's right. Kirstie Alley is one that started opening her mouth and getting mad about what? What are you mad about?
Why don't you? You know what? One would have to have a job in order to get upset about those things. So all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just thought perhaps that she was like on the board of something, or has she been nominated for an Oscar? Or okay,
no,
maybe an Emmy during her Cheers days. I don't know.
I don't know.
But my thing is, like, if it angers, all that vitriol and anger you have, you could have been using that to help the cause. You could have gotten yourself a job. Never mind, you don't want to help us. Get a job. That's what you could have done. I have no sympathy.
Use your powers for good.
Use your powers for good. So. Just one more thing, off of that. I don't know anybody if you have a problem with this really says more about you than the process.
Exactly.
You. When Kirstie Alley, don't ever come to me for a job for anything, because I do intend to be producing something. Don't come this way, because you will be ushered off the door onto that train.
Girl, please.
So,
bye.
Girl, bye. So the last thing I want to talk about is let's talk about Versus. This is a big deal because for those of you that don't know, Versus is something that's been put together by the producers Timbaland and Swiss Beats, music producers. And they did it really in light of the pandemic to start to, bring some cheer and joy. So what they would do is match up two musical icons in different genres. Mostly it's been R&B and hip hop, but I'm sure they're open to other genres as well. So the last matchup they did was actually last Monday or 2 Mondays ago. It was Brandy and Monica. And coming up on September 13th, Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight is the next one.
It's gonna break all the records. Because the Brandy Monica one, they said the views was like over 1 million.
It was over 1 million.
Right. Yeah. And also, you don't have to watch it on Instagram Live. They have it on Apple Music, Apple TV.
Apple TV, yeah.
I watch it on Apple TV.
If you have Apple TV, Apple Music, you can watch it. I do not, so I will be sticking to good old Instagram. So they will be live at the a theater in Philadelphia. They, just the two of them, and then their production team, like they've been doing lately. So I think that allows them to control the production for this as well, and to have it high level. So you don't.
Thank you, Teddy Riley, because the production they changed the production after the Teddy Riley. I won't say debacle, but the extra.
There were a lot of things with the tech aspects, but they put things in place where it's like, if you don't have XYZ, you cannot be on Versus.
When they started, it was an intimate. They were somewhere in their cars, and it was just like in their house. So now the production value is different, and I say because of Teddy, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, absolutely, it was because of Teddy. Because the whole thing is, just because as producers of this, you can't blame. Oh well, it was their Wi-Fi or what. It looks like you did not put on a good production. So they're trying to control the sanctity of the production, and so that's going to happen 8 p.m. Eastern time, and that is 5 p.m. Pacific on Apple TV, Apple Music, and
you can watch the replays on Versus YouTube.
Yes, you can watch the replays on Versus YouTube. If you but see, there's something about being there in the moment and watching it live and seeing the comments. I'm anticipating this one because, and this is the thing that I've liked. They have really done a great job with it, and so the fact that they, basically ignore Gen X and other. And older demographics when it comes to media, I'm like, you're stupid, because it's us that grew up so they've had 90s group. Most of the groups have been like very popular in the 90s, maybe early 2000s, and then back some. They did when they did Beanie Man and Bounty Killer. You got every Caribbean person.
They did Fred Hammond and John. I forgot who it was.
It was Fred Hammond.
So you can go back and watch these on Apple Music.
This is the thing. I tried to rewatch the Brandy one, but it went somewhere. So I didn't really investigate it on the Apple TV part, but I know
on YouTube you can
find it on YouTube.
Okay, well that'll be easier.
Versus VERZUZ, not S. There's no S's.
ZUZ versus. Yeah. So it's actually really cool. That is the next one. I'm excited about it. I watch every Versus, even if I'm not particularly into the artist, just because it's a cultural experience. But this one, I'm going to. Have you ladies been watching Versus?
No, but I'm about ready to.
I haven't. I'm looking at the YouTube now over here on my iPad. I just looked it up.
And also go to their Instagram. Because it all started on Instagram. So go to Instagram and follow Versus VERZUZ, and you will see all. So it really started out with it was rappers and then R&B, and now I love that they're getting. When I heard the announcement, I was so happy because now you're getting another audience to come in who loves that music, because they were doing Gen Z rappers and stuff like that. And I was like, but now they're bringing in more artists that everybody, you like their music, you like this,
exactly, and then the production, not just the production value, but the performance value. So you're talking about bringing in artists who have done shows where you have to perform and you have to have performance value and engage, and they know how to engage. Some artists now don't necessarily know how to engage because they're studio artists more than they are performance artists. And there's a very specific art to that.
And another thing I love is that the artists tell stories about the songs. They don't play the whole song. They play 20, 30 seconds of a song. They can't play the whole song, but they play the song and they tell a story about the production or what happened or whatever, and then they play the song, and it's just a great experience. It's just grown so big,
and often often they will sing with the sometimes but let me tell you, with the Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, since I went to school in New York State, I went to school with a lot of Jamaicans. I went to school with a lot of Caribbean people. So you have, and then, in Africa, reggae is really popular as well, dancehall and stuff. So because of that took me back to my undergrad days. I was wet by the time I've been from dancing with that, but they actually did they sang. So they just had the track and they sang. They didn't, just play it. So it was like you were at a live concert. It's amazing. So if you're a wine drinker, get your little wine, get your sparkling water, get whatever libation you would like, and sit back and watch, because this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I have.
Well, Lakeisha says, I love my peers, but Patty and Gladys are about to show them how to dress, always with style.
Yes.
And she says it was hard to find, but she evidently figured it out.
Okay.
I would love to watch it on Apple TV. You know what I mean? And just do
just go to Apple Music on the TV, and it'll pop up when it's time. It'll be there. You don't have to search for it. Just go to the music on TV, and it's there.
Oh, okay.
I was like, where is it? And I went, and it just popped up. It's because they have the slide, the banner graphics. It'll be there.
Okay.
It'll be on the top.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
that's
that'll make it worth the premium. At least they give. They don't have a lot of content on Apple TV. Okay.
No, they need it. So I mean, this is the best thing they could have done.
That'll make it worth the price of the ticket. Yep. Okay, ladies. We've been here a minute.
Okay.
But I just want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It is, September 11th, and I appreciate your attention today. We just want to say, look, Friday, we talk tech in English, so feel free to wade in. I saw your jokes over there, Mark.
Oh, I
love you, Mark.
We love you. And it was great to see Theo in the house today, and all of you, Robin and Pat, and who else did we have over here? Lakeisha.
Lakeisha says that I put the link for Instagram, the desktop version, but it's Versus TV.
Okay.
Trying to find it on the app, but I put the link over here.
Okay, yep. And Jerry was in here. Dahlia. Who else did we see?
Because we want to break the record for this. Yeah. We want to give Gladys and Patty, 2 million. 3 million.
Let's do it.
So, y'all go get Uncle Willie and them.
And it goes like 2-3 hours. It goes like 2-3 hours. It keeps going. It keeps going. So
it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But it didn't show. Okay. Thank you.
No? Okay, I put the link in so she can find it.
Fridays are always longer. It's for you. Thank you so much.
Friday.
For being here with us.
It was good. It was really good information.
It was an exciting conversation too. I just want to say that be sure to follow Tachi and on Mediascope, and be sure to follow Terry Johnson online everywhere. And if you're looking to become a biz chick, we want you to remember that you can always text biz to 33777. And we want to say, hey, we love you guys. We will
hold on. We got a happy birthday to Tim Gillette.
Happy birthday, Tim! Yay! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday yesterday, and somebody else's birthday was today. I was like, hold on.
We have to do birthday shout outs on Friday.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So if you have a birthday this week, let us know in the chat. That's what we're going to tell them.
Right, because Tim Gillette's birthday was yesterday.
Okay.
Tim, we're sending much love to you. Hey, I do believe in Texas. If you're in Texas right now, or wherever you are in the globe, we're sending happy birthday wishes. Hope you had a great one.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, guys. Hey, it's been an interesting week all around the country. So we just hope that everybody's safe and that all is well. Is there anything else you want to say before we invite people to come in on Monday? Same time, same bat channel. We'll be here, and we'll be talking about coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. And we want to remind you, don't forget to go to the front of your own mind. Have a great day. Bye-bye.